A former Vegas oddsmaker just revealed something that could save you hundreds of dollars this Sunday. Internal reports from bookmakers expose 5 specific NFL teams designed to drain your bankroll faster than any others this week. And what these insiders are saying will shock you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which teams to avoid, which 2 teams insiders are actually backing, and why the sportsbooks don't want you knowing this information. Let's start with Marcus. Nice guy, works in sales, loves football. He had a ritual where every Sunday morning he'd wake up, make his coffee, and place his bets before the game started. Last weekend, Marcus thought he had it all figured out. He'd watched every highlight. He'd read every expert pick. He'd listened to 3 different podcasts. 5 teams looked like absolute locks. The kind of bets that felt so safe, you'd be crazy not to take them. Marcus put $500 on each game. That's $2,500 total across 5 bets that every expert was calling sure things. By Sunday night, Marcus had lost every single bet. All 5 teams failed to cover. He sat there staring at his phone, watching his balance drop to 0, then kept going as he tried to chase his losses on the night game. By Monday morning, Marcus was down $3,000. $3,000 gone in one weekend. He couldn't understand it. How did every expert get it so wrong? How did 5 teams that looked so good all fail? Here's what Marcus didn't know. Those weren't bad luck losses. Those were trap lines. Former oddsmakers have a name for what happened to Marcus. They call it the public money grab. The sportsbooks knew exactly what they were doing when they set those lines. They made certain teams look irresistible to casual bettors like Marcus. They knew the experts would all pick the same sides. They knew the public would pile their money on those teams, and they knew those teams would fail to cover. This happens every single week. Sportsbooks make millions off bettors who don't have access to the insider information you're about to hear. And it's completely legal. The books aren't breaking any rules. They're just better at understanding human nature than most bettors are at understanding football. They know you'll bet on the team that just won big last week. They know you'll bet on the star quarterback everyone is talking about. They know you'll fall for the revenge game story. And they know exactly how to set the lines to take advantage of that. Before I tell you which 5 teams to avoid this week, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and let me know in the comments, what's the biggest NFL betting win or loss you've ever had? All right, back to the story. The first team you need to avoid this Sunday is a team that 78% of the public is betting on right now. And that's exactly why insiders are staying far away from it. The Dallas Cowboys are the first team on the avoid list this week. And here's why former oddsmakers are laughing all the way to the bank. The Cowboys just crushed their last opponent by 21 points. Dak Prescott threw for over 300 yards. The defense looked unstoppable. Every sports show spent the entire week talking about how Dallas is back. And now they're playing a team that lost their last game by 14 points. On paper, this looks like the easiest bet of the week. That's exactly the problem. Former Vegas oddsmaker Michael Chen worked for a major sportsbook for 12 years. He explains that when 78% of the public is on one side, the sportsbook is almost always happy about it. The line on the Cowboys opened at -6 on Monday. By Wednesday, it had moved to -7.5, even though the public kept hammering Dallas. That's not normal. Usually when everyone bets one side, the line moves to encourage bets on the other side. But not this time. The books wanted more Cowboys money, and they got it. Here's what the public doesn't see. Dallas is playing on a short week after an emotional division win. 3 of their starting offensive linemen are dealing with injuries that aren't on the official report yet. And their opponent has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these teams, all as underdogs. Insiders know this. The public doesn't. A bettor named Sarah found this out the hard way 2 weeks ago. She bet $800 on a similar Cowboys line. Dallas won the game, but only by 4 points. She lost her bet and couldn't figure out why everyone said Dallas would dominate. But this team isn't even the worst bet this week. Team number 2 has something even more concerning, according to insider analysis. The Miami Dolphins are getting 65% of public bets this Sunday, and there's an injury situation nobody's talking about. The Dolphins' starting left tackle went down in practice on Thursday. It didn't make the official injury report. It won't make headlines until game day. But insiders already know, and they've moved their money accordingly. Former bookmaker James Rodriguez says this is exactly what sportsbooks pray for. The public sees the Dolphins' offensive stats from last week. They see Tua Tagovailoa's completion percentage. They see the speed weapons. What they don't see is that without their starting left tackle, Tua will face pressure on 47% of his dropbacks based on historical data when this backup played. That's a massive difference. A player named Kevin kept betting Miami all last season despite warnings from friends who worked in Vegas. He won maybe 4 times out of 15 bets. By the end of the season, he'd lost $2,300 betting on a team he loved but didn't truly understand. The math is simple. When Miami's backup left tackle plays, their scoring drops by an average of 9 points per game. The current line has Miami favored by 3. If you subtract 9 points from their expected scoring, they should be 6-point underdogs, not 3-point favorites. The line doesn't reflect reality because the public doesn't know what insiders know. And speaking of hidden information, team number 3 has a quirk that insiders say should be illegal to bet on. The Philadelphia Eagles are in a classic divisional revenge game situation, and it's about to cost a lot of people a lot of money. After those 5 teams to avoid, you're probably wondering if there are any teams insiders actually trust this week. The answer is yes, and the first one might shock you. The Cleveland Browns are getting only 23% of public bets this Sunday, and that's exactly why sharp bettors are loading up on them. Former oddsmaker Rachel Kim worked for one of the biggest books in Vegas for 8 years. She says when she sees a line where the public is heavily on one side, but the line isn't moving, she knows the sharp money is on the other side. That's exactly what's happening with Cleveland. The Browns are 3-point underdogs at home against a team that just won 3 straight games. On the surface, it looks like an easy bet on the favorite. But here's what the public is missing. Cleveland's defense ranks 2nd in the league against the run, and their opponent runs the ball on 68% of their plays. That's a terrible matchup for the favorite. The Browns have also won 7 of their last 9 home games as underdogs. The statistics that casual bettors ignore are the exact statistics that sharp money pays attention to. There's a specific matchup advantage that makes this even better. The opposing team's offensive line has given up 47 sacks this season, 3rd worst in the NFL. Cleveland's pass rush has recorded 38 sacks, 5th best in the league. When a strong pass rush faces a weak offensive line, the math gets simple. Former bookmakers hate this game because they know the sharp bettors have found real value. One Vegas insider said his book would actually prefer to not even offer this game because they know they're going to lose money on it, but they have to offer every game. A bettor named Alex started following sharp money trends last season after losing $4,000 betting on public favorites. He began betting against the public on games where the line movement didn't match the betting percentages. In his first month using this strategy, he won 9 out of 14 bets. By the end of the season, he'd won back everything he lost and finished up $200. The recommended approach here is to bet Cleveland with 2 to 3 units max. Don't go crazy. Even sharp plays lose sometimes, but the math is in your favor, and that's all you can ask for. The second team insiders are backing might surprise you even more. The Las Vegas Raiders are getting absolutely destroyed by the public right now. Only 18% of bets are on Vegas this week, and sharp bettors are treating that like a green light. The Raiders are 7-point underdogs, and the public thinks this game will be a blowout. Former oddsmaker David Chen says this is his favorite bet of the week. The line opened at Raiders +5 on Monday. By Thursday, it had moved to +7, even though almost nobody was betting on Vegas. That means the sportsbooks are begging you to take the favorite. They're adding points to make the favorite look even more attractive. That's a massive red flag. Here's the hidden value. The Raiders' defense has held their last 3 opponents under 20 points. Their opponent this week averages 28 points per game, but 5 of those games came against teams ranked in the bottom 10 in defense. Here's what former oddsmakers really want you to know. Sportsbooks don't make money because they're smarter than you. They make money because they understand psychology better than you. Just like those slot machines that are programmed to give you small wins to keep you playing, sportsbooks set lines that make certain teams look irresistible, even when the math says, stay away. They know you'll bet on the team that just crushed their last opponent. They know you'll bet on the star quarterback everyone spent all week talking about on sports shows. They know you'll fall for the revenge game narrative, where a team is supposedly motivated to beat a division rival, and they know exactly how to set the lines to profit from those patterns. Marcus learned this lesson the hard way. After losing $3,000 in one weekend, he sat down with a friend who used to work for a major sportsbook. That friend explained what Marcus had just experienced. Every single one of his 5 bets was on a team the public loved. Every single line was designed to attract public money. And every single outcome went exactly how the bookmakers expected. Marcus wasn't unlucky. He was predictable. And in sports betting, being predictable is the same as being broke. The psychological traps are everywhere. Recency bias makes you think the team that won big last week will do it again. Confirmation bias makes you seek out expert picks that agree with what you already want to bet. The availability heuristic makes you overvalue the highlights you saw and undervalue the statistics you didn't bother to check. Sportsbooks know all of this. They've spent millions studying how bettors think and how to exploit it. The lines aren't set based on who will win. They're set based on what the public will bet. So now you know the 5 teams insiders are avoiding and the 2 they're actually backing. More importantly, you understand why, according to the people who set these lines. The Cowboys look great until you know about the short week and the offensive line injuries. The Dolphins look unstoppable until you know their left tackle is hurt. The Eagles' revenge game sounds exciting until you see the historical data on how those games actually play out. But the Browns' matchup advantage is real. The Raiders' value is legitimate. These aren't guesses. These are the same factors sharp bettors use to win consistently. Hit subscribe for more betting insights from industry insiders. And remember, even on the teams we're backing, bet responsibly and never more than you can afford to lose. Because unlike those slot machines that are programmed to take your money, no matter what, in sports betting, knowledge really can give you an edge. You just have to know where to look. The difference between Marcus losing $3,000 and Alex winning $1,200 wasn't luck. It was information. Now you have that information. What you do with it is up to you.